Hi Nana. In our previous video, we have learned how steel is manufactured from cast iron. So now we will learn different varieties of steel. Varieties of steel. See, generally, all varieties of steel it contains a carbon and manganese. Okay, but in varying proportions. See, generally the base. This steel. So based on the percentage of carbon, based on percentage of carbon amount, the steel is classified broadly into two categories. Okay, one is mild steel and another one is hard steel. Mild steel and hard steel. See, in mild steel, the percentage of carbon is less. So the percentage of carbon it will be from 0.1 to 0.5 percentage. Whereas in hard steel, the percentage of carbon will be more. I mean, when compared to this one, the percentage of carbon will be from zero point 0.5 to 1.5 range. Okay, right. See, if you see the properties of the mild steel, the mild steel is elastic in nature. It is malleable. It is malleable. It is ductile, malleable, ductile. Okay, and easily welded. Easily welded and easily forged and easily forged. Okay, so these are the properties of the mild steel. If you see the properties of the hard steel, see, hard steel have high tensile strength. It has high tensile. Okay, hard steel have high tensile strength and it is hard and brittle. It is hard and brittle. Okay, so these are the properties of hard steel and these are the properties of mild steel. If you see the uses of mild steel, mild steel is used, okay, it is used to make powerful magnets. Okay, to make powerful magnets, uh, nuts, bolts, nuts, bolts, nuts, bolts, etc. are made from mild steel. So if you see the uses, if you see the uses of this hard steel, mainly it is it is used to make machinery tools. Okay, to make machinery tools. So like this. So based on the percentage of carbon, so the steel can be classified into two types: mild steel and hard steel. And hard steel contains more percentage of carbon. Okay, mild steel contains only 0.1 to 0.5 percentage of carbon. Okay, right. So now we'll learn about steel alloys. Alloys of steel. There are different alloys of steel. Alloys of steel. What is alloy? What is an alloy? Alloy is nothing but homogeneous mixture of two or more metals is said to be alloys. So even what is steel? Steel is nothing but it is an alloy of iron and contains carbon. So mainly iron and carbon are present in steel. Along with iron and carbon, even some other metals are also present. Okay. See, steel is mainly contains these two. And again, this steel will have different. This steel we can change the properties of steel by adding some more substances to it, depending upon the different other substances added to the steel. So the steel can be made into different alloys. Steel itself is an alloy, and again, but due to the addition of some other substances into this steel, so we can make this steel into different alloys. So now we are going to learn about those things. So these called as those are called as alloys of steel. See, first alloy of steel is stainless steel. Stainless steel is one of the alloy of steel. So if you see the composition of stainless steel, it contains iron, carbon, chromium, nickel. So iron is 80 to 84% of this steel is it contains iron, and the carbon percentage is around 0.1 to 1 percentage, and chromium it is around 12 to 14 percentage, and nickel it is 1 to 2 percentage. So stainless steel contains chromium and nickel. Okay, these metals in extra to iron and carbon, because steel generally contains iron and carbon. So along with iron and carbon, this stainless steel contains chromium and nickel also. What is the specialty? What is the special properties of stainless steel? Stainless steel do not rust. It do not rust. Okay, do not rust. It do not rust by hot air, or else it do not rust by water. It do not rust by organic acids. Okay, it do not rust by alkalis. Okay, so rusting means actually do not rust means do not oxidize. Do not oxidize. Do not rust means do not oxidize. See, what are the uses of stainless steel? If you see the uses of stainless steel, see this stainless steel is used in making household utensils. Okay, in making surgical instruments. Okay, next, in manufacturing of automobile parts. In manufacturing of automobile parts, this stainless steel is used, and also it is used in cutleries. Cutleries. What cutleries means spoons. That means which are used for making for cooking purpose. So like spoons, etc. Okay, cutleries, etc. So like this, there are so many uses of stainless steel. See, stainless steel does not rust easily. It does not rust by hot air, water, organic acids, or even by alkalis. So that is the specialty of stainless steel. So this is one alloy of steel. Now let us learn another alloy of steel. Another alloy of steel. What is it? Manganese steel. Manganese steel is another alloy of steel. Actually, this manganese steel, it contains manganese along with the iron carbon. Okay, manganese also present. So iron here it is around 83% to 83.5% to 84%. Okay, and carbon is present around 0.9 to 1.5%, and manganese is present around 15%. Okay, the 15% of the steel is nothing but manganese only. Okay, see what is the specialty of this manganese steel? Manganese steel is extremely hard. It is extreme. It is extremely hard. For example, it is used in the manufacturing of helmets. Helmets, they are very hard. Okay, so I mean, for example, this manganese steel, it is used in many purposes. So because it is extremely hard. Uses, see manganese steel. If you speak about the uses of manganese steel, it is used in the manufacturing of safes. Manufacturing of safes. Safes means money chests. Money chests. That means money is stored. Money chests. Money chest means safe. Safes. Okay. Hammering machines. In the manufacturing of, it is used in the manufacturing of hammering machines. So hammering machines are made up of manganese steel only because of its very extremely hard nature. So it is used in the manufacturing of hammering machines, and also army helmets. Army helmets. So helmets used by army people. Helmets used by army people. They are very strong. Okay, they are very hard because manganese steel it is an extremely hard. It is extremely hard material. Hence, it is used in the manufacturing of army helmets. Okay, and even in the tank armors. In the tank armors. So like this manganese steel, it is another type of alloy of steel. It is a very extremely hard material. Okay. Now another type of alloy of steel. So now third alloy of steel we learn. What is the next alloy of steel? Tungsten steel. Tungsten steel, it contains tungsten along with iron and carbon. Tungsten is present. So 10 to 20% of tungsten is present. Okay, here carbon is 0.9 to 1.5% carbon, and rest of the thing, so that means around 77.5, okay, to 89.5% of the tungsten steel contains iron only. See what is the specialty of tungsten steel? It is very hard. It is very hard, not as extreme, it is not extremely hard, but it is very hard. Manganese steel is very extremely hard. So tungsten steel is very hard and resistant to corrosion. It is resistant to corrosion, and also it has very high tensile strength. Very high tensile strength. Okay. Next, if you see the uses of tungsten steel, where this tungsten steel is used to make swords. Okay, to make swords. Okay, sword is what? Sword is, so this is sword, the material, okay, which is used in wars. Okay, sword. Okay, swords. It is used in the manufacturing of swords. It is used in the manufacturing of ball bearings. Ball bearings. In the manufacturing of armor. In the manufacturing of dice also. In the manufacturing of dice also, tungsten steel is used. Certain dice in the manufacturing of certain dice, tungsten steel is used. It is high speed. It is used in high speed tools. High speed tools. High speed tools are made up of. That means the tools, okay, which will run with very high speed, okay, are made up of this tungsten steel only. For example, drilling machine contains very high speed tools, okay, like that. So these are the use of tungsten steel. Okay, next type of steel is chromium steel. Chrome steel. This chrome steel contains chromium along with the carbon and iron. Okay. So how much amount of chromium is present? Only very less. 1 to 4% of chromium only is present. And this carbon contains 1 to 1.5%. Okay. And the remaining percentage is iron only, around 94.5% to 98% of this chrome steel is made up of iron only. What is the specialty of this chrome steel? It's very hard. It is very hard. Okay, like like a tungsten steel, it is also very hard, and it has high tensile strength. Like how tungsten steel, so it is also having high tensile strength. What is the meaning of tensile strength? Tensile strength means, so for example, this is a chromium steel, let us assume, so it can bear a lot of load. It can bear a lot of load on it. Okay, that means it can bear a lot of weight without breaking. Okay, so if it is high tensile strength, it can bear a lot of weight or else a lot of load or else a lot of strain without breaking. If it is having less tensile strength, what happens? If much load is kept on it, what happens? It will break down. So as it is having high tensile strength, if a large amount of load is kept also, that material, that chromium steel does not break down. Okay. And if you speak about the uses of chromium steel, the uses are similar to the uses of chrome steel are similar to the uses of tungsten steel. That means both the chrome steel and tungsten steel, they are used in the same way. That means chrome steel is used in the manufacturing of swords, like how tungsten steel is used, and it is used in the manufacturing of ball bearings, armor. It is used in dice. It is also used in manufacturing of high speed tools, so etc. Okay, so this is about chrome steel. Next, next type of alloy is vanadium steel. Vanadium steel. Vanadium steel contains vanadium along with the carbon and iron. Okay. So vanadium, it is still very less percentage, 0.2 to 1 percentage only, and the carbon, it will be around 0.9 to 1.4 percentage, and the iron, it is present in around 87.5 percentage to, okay, it is around 98 percentage. So this iron is around this much percentage. Okay. So iron and carbon are must and should in the steel. Okay. So along with the iron and carbon, vanadium steel contains vanadium also. So the percentage of vanadium will be around 0.2 to 1 percentage. See, what is the specialty of this vanadium steel? It is very hard and yet withstands jerks without breaking. It is very hard and withstands jerks. So if there is any jerk on it, if any jerk is applied on it, it can withstand that jerk also. It does not break. Generally, materials will break if they are subjected to jerks. But this vanadium steel, it does not break. That means it withstands jerks. Okay, without breaking. Without breaking. Even if jerk, even it is subjected to jerk also, it does not break. Which one? Vanadium steel. So like this, this different varieties of steel can be discussed. Different alloys of steels can be discussed. See, if you see the uses of vanadium. See, vanadium, it is used in for the making of automobile parts. It is used in making automobile parts such as springs. Okay, parts such as spring. Okay, parts such as springs, crankshafts. Okay, springs, crankshafts, axles, etc. Axles, etc. So these are made up of what? Vanadium steel. Okay, so like this, the alloys of steel can be discussed. Now we'll discuss about the properties. See, if you heat the steel, what happens? That steel will change its properties. If you heat the steel, due to the heat, what happened? That steel will change its properties, altering the properties of steel. How the properties of the steels can be changed? Altering the properties of steel. That means altering means changing. changing the properties of steel by heating. By heating, but that heating should be in a controlled temp to a controlled temperature. Heating it to, or else heating it at controlled temperature. Heating it at a controlled temperature. Okay, that means at a specific temperature only. Okay, right. See, here the physical properties, mainly physical properties. So the physical properties of the mild steel. See, actually steel is of two types. Already we have discussed. Mild steel and hard steel. So the properties of both mild steel and hard steel, they are changed by the temperature. They can be altered, okay, by heating it and then cooling it at controlled temperature. So that means the properties of mild steel as well as the properties of hard steel can be changed, can be altered, okay, by heating and by heating or cooling at a controlled temperature. So now we will learn certain terms known as hardening. Hardening of steel, or it is also called as quenching of steel. Hardening of steel or quenching of steel. What is, how do this quenching or hardening of steel is done? See, actually hard steel. So this hard steel, when it is heated to around 750 to 800 degrees centigrade, okay, to that high temperature, if it is heated, and this hard steel after heating to this high temperature, take cold water. What is this one? Cold water. Or else you may take oil also. Okay, you may take cold water or oil. So now after heating this hard steel into 750 to 800 degrees centigrade, so that hard steel, it is suddenly plunged. That steel is suddenly plunged into this cold water or else oil. Suddenly it is dropped into, plunged means dropped, or else suddenly kept into this cold water or or oil. So what happens? Therefore, what happens? This steel, hard steel, will suddenly cool. Sudden cooling. Okay, this sudden cooling of very hot hard steel. Okay, by plunging into cold water or oil. So here this process of sudden cooling is said to be quenching, or else simply hardening of steel. It is nothing. What is quenching or hardening is nothing but it is a process of sudden cooling of very hot hard steel. Okay, so this very hot hard steel, when it is suddenly cool, what happens? So you will get that some material. So that material is said to be quenched steel. It is called as quenched steel or else hardened steel. And this process of obtaining this quenched steel is said to be quenching of steel or else hardening of steel. See, if you do like this, what happens? So this is hard steel. If this hard steel, if it is heated to this much temperature and suddenly dropped into this oil or cold water, so what happens? So this the properties of this steel will change. The properties of the steel will alter. So what change you will find? So mainly quenching. So due to this process, due to quenching, so quenching will increase the hardness. Increase the hardness. Quenching will increase the hardness of steel, but at the same time makes it brittle. So at the same time makes it brittle, makes it brittle. That means if you beat this material with some force, what happens? It will break down. So both things will happen. So it increases the hardness. So quenching will increase the hardness and makes it brittle. So such steel, okay, it can bear lot of load but cannot withstand jerks. Bear lot of load. That means it can withstand heavy weights also. It can withstand heavy weight, but it cannot withstand with jerks. Suppose if this steel, if it is subjected to jerking, suppose if it is hit to something, if this steel, okay, if this hardened steel or if this quenched steel, if it hit to something, what happens? It will undergo some jerks. Okay, so if it is subjected to jerk, what happens? It will break down. It will break down. Got it? That means this quenched steel cannot, okay, it cannot withstand. It cannot withstand sharp jerks. Sharp jerks. What is the meaning of cannot withstand sharp jerks? That means if this one is subjected to sharp jerks, what happens? It will break down. So but it can bear lot of load. So that this is important. Okay. So the process of sudden cooling of steel, very hot steel. The process of sudden cooling of very hot steel. Okay, by plunging into either oil or else cold water. So that process is said to be quenching of steel or else hardening of steel. Okay, so this is one method of altering the properties. That means changing the properties. So the properties can be changed by another method also. So here suddenly cooling by there is another method where it is cooled very slowly. So the second method, it is also called as annealing or tempering. Annealing or tempering of steel. So in this process, what happens? The same hard steel, it is heated to only around 220 degrees centigrade to 330 degrees centigrade. Okay, not to this temperature. So it is heated to somewhat lower temperature. That means this is also very high temperature only. Okay, so here what happens after heating this hard steel, when it is heated to this temperature, and after heating each one, so we will cool this slowly cooling. So after heating to this much temperature and simply leave it so that it will slowly cool down. Okay, slowly cools down. So it may around 4 to 5 hours it takes around 4 to 5 hours. So that means here in annealing process, what happens? Heating the hot steel to a temperature of hard steel, it is heated to a temperature of around 220 to 330 degrees centigrade, and then cooling it slowly, and then afterwards, after heating it, you have to slowly cool. Here sudden cooling. So sudden cooling will produce quenched steel. Slow cooling will produce annealing steel. Okay, annealed steel. The process is said to be annealing. So this process is said to be quenching. Quenching means sudden cooling. Annealing means slow cooling of that hot material. Okay, for 4 to 5 hours. Right. So here by this process, what change? What type of properties are changed? Or what change in the property? What change in the physical properties you will notice? So here annealed steel, it See, annealed steel. Annealed steel. Annealed steel retains hardness. That means upon doing like this, so the hardness of the steel is retained, but what happens? Become tensile, but become tensile. Before that, what happened? So if you quenched steel also it retains hardness, but it cannot withstand heavy loads. But here annealing become tensile. Tensile means it can withstand heavy loads. It can retain its hardness upon annealing and become tensile. That means it can withstand. So that means, what is the meaning of tensile? Tensile means it can withstand heavy loads. Okay, a lot of load at the same time without a sharp, without breaking. Okay, and it can withstand sudden jerks. Even sudden jerks occur. Even sudden jerks are occurred, then also it does not break down. Okay, sharp or sudden jerks it can withstand. So like this, the properties of annealed steel can be discussed. So that means here we are changing the properties of the steel by heating it at a controlled temperature. So uses. So what is the use of heating, and what is the use of this annealed or else a tempering steel? So if you see the uses, it is used in the manufacturing of steel. So if you see the uses, annealed steel, it is used in the manufacturing of springs, okay, screwdrivers, knives, knives. Okay, it is used in the manufacturing of springs, screwdrivers, knives. Okay, metal punching machines, metal punches. Okay, scissors. Okay, and also razor blades. Razor blades are made from annealed steel. Okay, so etc. So these are some of the uses of the process of annealing and annealed steel. Okay, this is about all these things are related to cast iron. Cast iron is the most impure form of the iron. So now after this one, we will learn about the wrought iron. Okay, wrought iron, or it is also called as pure iron. So until this, we have learnt about the cast iron. Okay, cast iron, it is also called as pig iron. So now in the next video we will learn about wrought iron. Wrought iron is the it is a purest form of iron. Okay, it is the purest form of iron, or simply we can call it as pure iron. Okay, so in the next video we will look into this one. Okay, bye.